Terrarian in the Dungeon, Chapter 32, Fan Fiction by Azazyel. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel for listening and patreon.com/Azazyel to read all of his stories. Teleporting into our bedroom as per usual with my tag along, via teleportation, they didn't get their senses dulled with the teleportation, so they were dizzy and wobbly, to say the least. So Belle with a loud clanking noise headbutt her circlet-covered forehead against my chest plate, making her groan in surprise but thankfully not pain. Lady Seshet said your teleports would make you think you had been held upside down and spun in a circle for several minutes, but I didn't think it would be this bad, Belle muttered as she held onto her head in order to keep herself from falling over. Oh, Jake and Belle. Welcome back. I heard Hestia yell out, and from the downstairs section of the shop, Hestia power walked through the building and I saw how nicely dressed up she was, and I recalled how we had planned to go on a double date or something of the sort. Hestia was wearing a similar dress to the one she would wear during more fancy meetings like at a Donatus or something. Hestia then helped Belle take off her armor by removing the clasps on the side of the chest plate and the leggings before glomping the surprised white-haired girl who cried out at how tightly Hestia was hugging her. Hestia. I can't breathe and they are pushing against one another. Belle cried out with embarrassment, clear in her voice as Hestia was all but bear hugging the poor girl, and both of their chests were being pushed against one another as Hestia did her best to fuse with Belle's form. Wow, Hestia is shooting for the stars, isn't she? Seshet whispered to me as she came up behind me, and I nodded, seeing Seshet in a full dress instead of her more Amazonian style of clothes that left little to the imagination. Hestia. Let go. Belle cried. Belle, hug me. Hestia cried out equally with as much passion. Or she just wants a bite of her rabbit, I said jokingly, and both girls blushed at my words with Hestia whirling on me as Belle fled her goddess's hands and hid behind me and Seshet. My love for Belle is pure and without mortal follies. Hestia announced, trying to sound imperious, but I cut her down at the knees as it were. Yeah, no, all the Greek gods are deviants and perverts. I know what Poseidon and Zeus got up to in their animal forms. I said as dry as a desert, and Hestia just pointed at me in dumbfounded silence as she tried to find a rebuttal. I am not like them. And most definitely not like Poseidon or Zeus. Hestia screeched, but I only had 2 words for her. Seahorse. Killer goose. I said drily as I brought up the oh-so-lovely monster creatures that the 2 idiotic gods brought about when they decided that, in their infinite wisdom, they could combine spirits and monsters to create avatars on Genkai. They could control from the upper realm and still have some of their power without using their arcanum and possibly destroying Genkai. Yeah, all it did was create a couple of new monster breeds that still haunt the surface world. As all monsters were perfectly capable of breeding to maintain their numbers, with the only caveat being that surface monsters were a good deal weaker than their dungeon counterparts due to not having a monster stone fueling them with magic from the dungeon. But I am not a deviant, am I, Belle? Hestia asked Belle after she had absolutely no response and could only turn to her only adventurer. The only person who believed that she could have a familia and wanted to join her. I mean, you did sneak into my bed all the time and even now you keep trying to touch my, boobs. Belle said, blushing at the end as she held her arms in front of her body, glove-clad chest to block off the room's gazes as she brought them up. Hestia just slouched over, so I went over and patted her back as I walked past her towards the room's bathroom. Alright, I am going to get a shower so I can put on some nicer clothes. Belle, you can use Seshet's bathroom or something. I called out, but Seshet loudly coughed, and as I looked back, I saw her holding her arms up in an X in front of her chest. Nope, nada, not happening. My bathroom is mine, remember, Jake? No one and nothing gets to use my bathroom regardless. Seshet sighed, putting her foot down, and it was honestly a surprise as other than discussing my fauna and my more extreme actions she was rarely so serious. Ah, it's okay. I can just wait for Jake to finish. Belle said, tilting her head to the side, and hearing such an easy solution, I went into the bathroom and with a loud snapping noise, I closed the door behind me as I went about discarding my armor into my inventory. As I enjoyed my shower and just relished the hot water cascading down my back, I couldn't help but sigh as I just unwound from all the mining and building I did today, to say nothing of the stress of having squads of enhanced aberrant minotaurs trying to kill us. Honestly, I was surprised Belle didn't freeze up or have a panic attack at the sight of those minotaurs that matched the one that all but killed her previously. My literal shower thoughts were cut off in a couple of minutes as the door to the bathroom snapped open and through the foggy glass that separated my nude from. Yeah, it seems Belle got shoved into here. I could hear both Seshet and Hestia giggling as Belle began blubbering to be let out, but was too scared to break down the door as the two goddesses seemingly kept it closed. Belle, just get Jake out of the shower, he is taking too long, plus you need your own. Hestia vindicatively spoke through the door, and I couldn't help but hear that spiteful Greek in her. Belle, just sit on the toilet and close your eyes or something until I am done. No need to freak out, I said, rolling my eyes at how the goddesses were bullying Belle. Goddess Hestia asked me to help you get clean and out of the shower, and I know people of the same gender aren't supposed to share a bath or shower, but should I wash your back or something? She all but forced out, making me deadpan as I stared at the tiled bathroom walls as I counted to 10 in my head in order to shut down the horny. Belle, I can tell you are not at all comfortable with doing that. I can tell the goddesses to stop being weird with you if you want, I offered, sighing as I rinsed some soap out of my hair. But my only answer through the loud sounds of the water hitting my body and clapping as it hit the floor was some soft thumping that I ignored for a minute before I finally got all the soap out of my hair so I could actually open my eyes without getting soap in them. And let me tell you, fantasy soap wasn't tear-free and had some natural harsh stuff that made it feel like I was getting winter fresh mint bar soap in your eyes kind of pain. I got your back, Jake. From the dungeon, and even here I have your back, Jake. At that I felt a soft, small hand against my back, making me freeze in shock as Belle somehow opened the shower slide without me realizing it, as I was focusing on getting the soap out of my hair.